bring into your awareness, into the active experience right now, something. It's as if you've been in a labyrinth and you just can't find the way out. And the way out is there, or the way in. But in this analogy, I'm in a labyrinth and I keep on going through the same turns, and I think I'm doing something different, but I'm actually not. There we go. So use a story within yourself, whether it's awakening, instantaneous healing, losing weight, health, money, whatever it is. We tend to go through the same processes, even though we think we're doing something else, we're doing something new. So the analogy is the labyrinth, and it's there. You're playing in the labyrinth. There's nothing outside. The labyrinth isn't going, yay, got you. Yeah, you're not coming out. There's no exit. There is. Okay. So in this example that you've chosen, why do you always fall back into that habit or into that belief system or conditioning? Why would that be so much stronger or harder to resolve than anything else? Okay. Just bring it up into your experience. And it would be, can you see, can you feel the frustration or the annoyance or just that background hum that we did last week? Or I'm not even trying because it's just futile. Well, it must be just like this then. Wherever you're at, sometimes it's like, I'll just have a little rest and then give it another little go. So where is that in your consciousness? Where is that in your body? So the crew want you to ask yourself is, why do I want that thing, or why is that so attractive to me? What would that do for me, and what would it do for others? And do I really want that, or do I want the emotion attached to that? So let's say if I go, I would like Awakening, more awakening, because that would give me peace. Maybe I just want peace and I don't want more awakening. So just tune into that for a bit. Because maybe if I lose weight, I'll be more accepted. Or if I had more money, I would be, I don't know, traveling. There we go. So I'm not saying to stop choosing that thing, just to be aware of why I'm choosing. And you can just tune in to see if that is a valid reason. And then just because this is how manifestation works, can I be happy without it? If I need something to become happy or to become something else, that's a blockage there straight away. It does create a difference in your life, so it improves. We have to get to a point where my life is wonderful, and this would improve it. It make it more enjoyable, make it richer in experience. Okay. And what would I avoid? So let's say if I wanted to be an instantaneous faith healer, what would I avoid? I would avoid long sessions. I would avoid returning customers. And I would avoid having to learn new stuff. I would avoid going into the subject. So it would feel easier. It would feel smoother. So if it's money, I would avoid debt. I would avoid struggle. If it's a partner, I would avoid loneliness, apparently. There we go. I want to involve my whole being. So what I've seen or only touched upon or what's hidden, that's fine. The whole purpose is to go within. So quantum consciousness, can you see the way, the perfect way through the labyrinth? And if you remember the drone analogy in the class, quantum consciousness can see from above the whole labyrinth. And it might say yes next to the right, but you always turn left. So in this analogy, what am I afraid of if I were to turn to the right or take the next correct step? Everything is building up as if you were on a stage, and behind the curtains, everything is preparing for the perfect outcome. But because I can't see it, or can't hear it, can't interact with it, it's not there. So allow your consciousness to, again, the analogy would be if your kitchen is tidy, the flour would be in the press and the eggs either on the counter or in the fridge. It is, all the ingredients are there for whatever you're making. So all the ingredients are available to you. Quantum consciousness, why are you resisting them? Allow your awareness to use that analogy and if you really didn't have, let's say, butter, you become aware of it and you can go to the store, to the shop. You can ready yourself if you truly didn't have one ingredient in this analogy. So bring it up again, and this desire, this thing that you are intending, so allow the newness of this awareness to come into the experience. You might have been trying for 20 years to create a different pathway. So you might be tired, but allow the newness to inspire you to change your frequency. The understanding that it is possible behind the curtains, that it's being created within your consciousness. There we go. So we're going to open up the Akashic record for this information in your consciousness. Anywhere in the quantumness that you are, that can be let go of, that is resisting. So there's a thought, there's also a consensus thought that looks positive, but it's actually not. That everything happens for a reason, and that is true, especially if you believe you need to suffer and learn to get somewhere. So that would be your reason. Hopefully, I don't want to get tied up into the explanation, but so some things do happen for a reason, because you definitely need to take that turn to have that experience to build upon it. But are there things in my awareness and consciousness that I can just go to without having to struggle to have that to justify that it was created in a certain way in my consciousness? So just showing me, imagine you had a car accident. Usually people will say, well, it must have happened for a reason. Just choosing something that's not so positive. That car accident might make you a safer driver in the future. That's perfect. But you could already be a safer driver right here, right now, in this analogy. What can I change within my consciousness that I don't need a shock, an obstacle, a difficulty to activate me? There we go. There we go. So going through the timeline in my construction, in my consciousness, where is it that I believed that I could have certain things and I couldn't have other things? Just in this building of my consciousness, can you see where I accepted this and created a certain difficulty, blockage, resistance? There we go. Again, quantum consciousness is looking at the labyrinth. It knows what inner structure as a child I created is no longer necessary. It can be reviewed, integrated. So things like, is there any resistance, is there any resentment that built up because it hasn't been possible? Do I believe that in this area I'm not so lucky? Would I need luck? So that's synchronicities. Can I open myself up to that? To the being lucky that the next positive step, I can see it, I can take it, it is gifted to me, and in a real way or metaphorically. So here again, they're saying this thing about I can't complain or I shouldn't complain. So I already have so many gems, let's say. So there's a settling energy. So I already have so many gems, so I should stop wanting, needing, projecting this thing that I'm intending as if it is an insatisfaction. So they're showing me the sky. It's really nice to see one bright star or a couple, but just imagine just seeing a really clear sky with million stars in the sky. The universe does not put limitation in the amount that you could experience. quantum consciousness, can you rearrange my consciousness to the best possible format of allowing this intent to start coming through, let's say, the theatre curtains, to allow me to somehow perceive it a little bit more as a possibility. So in the beginning, I said we attract what we are, the frequency. So can you allow, now that you know that it's vibrating closer to you, it is accessible, can you allow your energy to match that desired outcome? So as Neville Goddard would say, live as if you had the desired outcome, but imagine it, feel it. And then quantum consciousness, can you start making the changes within our consciousness? Structures, habits, programs. In the family structure, in past lives, anywhere in the structure of who you are. What identity inside of me is resisting this thing? So the first question I asked is, what is it? Do I need ease within that? Would it create happiness? So what identity, what personality, let's say, is in resistance? So what part of me cannot accept that? Even if you can't put your finger on it or your consciousness, just ask. So an analogy, someone comes along and says, oh, there's this party down the road. It's so much fun. The music's going to be incredible. And maybe the inner grumpy person identity is so strong that it won't go. That's an easy one. What is resisting within me? Will it mean that I'll be too exposed? That I'll have to stop struggling? Will it mean that I'd lose a focal point? This is part of my identity, this being that cannot have this thing. Who is it? There we go. So in my mind's eye, the personalities are in a big circle, and they take center stage when they need to do what they need to do, and then Move back into the circle. So maybe there's an identity, a personality that is in resistance of this desired outcome. Allow your consciousness to see it. This personality would only take this position if it's afraid that if it left the center stage, something bad would happen. So just acknowledge that. Put the opposite into balance. So let's say in the analogy of the party, the grumpiness has a motive, because maybe you've been to several different parties and it's never really gone that well. So we have an inner grump or a resistance to go to parties, and there's a reason, a true reason for it. But that is only building on the past. What possibility of something new is available to me? I can integrate all my personalities into the desired outcome. There we go. Imagine light being shone on this issue, a clearer path being outlaid in your consciousness to follow. Allow your body consciousness, your emotional consciousness, everything in you, feel that relaxation. I haven't quite got it yet, but it is available. To what degree, I don't know yet, but it is available. Whatever's in the way, can it be moved out? and create a quantum jump into this new state of consciousness where I need to be. There you go. Allow it to settle in. Okay, and a deep breath in. And ready.